Hey, what's up, rock stars? It's Rox. Welcome back to the channel. All right, you guys, let's talk about a few things. Let's talk about the voting rights here in Georgia and really all over America. Let's talk about Andrew Cuomo and his problems that he got right now. Let's talk about Biden and the stimulus relief bill. And we're going to wrap it up with a little bit of a Rona check-in. Let's get to it. All right, you guys. So the first story that I want to talk about today is voting rights and how they are really being attacked right now, you guys. It seems that the Republicans have figured in their brains that the more difficult they make it to vote, the better chances it is that they will win. They know that when Democrats, in particular, get out to vote, or, you know, those who don't generally vote because of whatever reason, when it's found to be easier for them to do it and they do it, then, you know, history says that Republicans lose. And all we have to do is look back to the 2020 elections. They refused to admit that they lost fair and square. Instead, most of them have put it in their minds that there is something wrong with the voter system that's been working this way for years and years and years and years. I mean, even YSAP always used mail-in voting, okay, before this election conveniently. So yeah, they have a problem with the voting system and feel like it needs to be overhauled. They want to make some changes. One is that they're trying to restrict voting by mail. They want to make some changes to that. They're also trying to stop automatic voter registration. I know here in Georgia, you are automatically registered to vote when you get your driver's license, okay? And they're trying to stop that from happening. They also want it so that church leaders and, you know, like party leaders in communities will not be able to gather up all of the ballots, the absentee ballots from, like, say, church members or, you know, the elderly or people who cannot get to a box. In the past, these people have collected a lot of ballots and then went and put them in the box, you know, all together. They're trying to stop that from happening as well. So these few things, even though they don't sound like it's a big deal, it is a big deal to some people who just are not mobile and people who cannot get out. The convenience of voting by mail this past election, I mean, we saw what happened. Many people did vote by mail. And even though they'll continue to tell you that dead people voted and dogs voted and, you know, all of this, that's really not the case. And they were able to pretty much root out pretty much all of the mail fraud. I mean, the voting mail fraud that they thought was going to happen. They were able to look at each of those cases and it just didn't happen. So that's what they're doing right now. The Democrats are having a hard time stopping this, mostly because the Democrats don't really have much control over the states. You know, many of them lost their seats in this past election. I think they only have 5 states that they control. Sorry, not 5, 15 states that they control, and none of them are in the swing states. Okay, so none of them are really in the states that matter. The states that are trying to make these changes: Arizona, Michigan, Georgia, North Carolina, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin. Okay, those are the states where it really matters, and that is where they are concentrating on making these changes. So it's something that everybody needs to pay attention to. You know, if they do make it so that it is way more difficult, you know, we're going to have to come up with the next plan to make sure that people are getting out to vote, because it does make a difference. And it is really scary that they, you know, when you think about it, like I mean, you might as well just come right out and say it that you don't want, you know, you don't want these people to be able to vote. It's alarming and it's serious enough. I mean, I know right now, because it's not, you know, voting season and all this, we still have to be diligent. We're going to be voting again in 2 years. Well, I mean, a year and a half pretty much now. And so these things are things that matter. So, you know, we're going to see what they're trying to do, but we see what you're trying to do. We know what you're trying to do. There are 253 bills across 43 states that are trying to change these voting rules. 43 states. So that's pretty much all of the United States, with the exception of a few states. So anyway, you guys, yeah, they're trying to do this. It's definitely going to affect Black and brown communities more disproportionately than any others. And like I said, we already see what you're trying to do. We know what you're trying to do. Okay, so yeah, this is something that we need to pay attention to, you guys. All right, you guys, it is warm today. I actually had to go to the office today, so I haven't been working on that other job that I had to go to my regular job and do some work over there. Plus, I wanted to put my car in the shop while I was at my regular job. So I had to get some servicing done. Remember I was telling you guys yesterday on top of the blogs that my car felt like it was running rough. You know, some bullshit basically got up there and they want to tell me about some codes. I don't give a fuck about the codes. How much is it gonna be? Okay, go on and flush and change filters and whatever you gonna do and whatnots, and give me old Foxy back. So Foxy is back good. I went and took her to get washed because I swear she ain't been washed since September, and she was filthy. So I feel like I got a new car again, you guys. I'm feeling pretty good. Anyway, y'all didn't ask about all of that, but it's warm in here today, so I got to hurry up and get through this. Next story, Cuomo. Boy, oh boy. Every day when I turn on the news, or every day when I log in on my, in my Apple News and read the articles and everything, honey, Cuomo is having some bad times. Okay, I told you guys last week, a couple of women had come out. A woman had come out and said that he was inappropriate with her, had grabbed her face and asked, could he kiss her? Now we've had 2 other women come out. So it's been 3 women. And all of the women have said that he's done something to them inappropriately, sexually harassed them, said things to them. But they're saying that he touched them as well. Well, Cuomo finally did come out and apologize. He said that he now realizes that his actions were inappropriate and they were hurtful, although it was not his intention. You know, he would never knowingly try to put anybody in an uncomfortable situation, and he was not meaning anything by it when he said these things to these women. Okay, so he apologized for that. He said that there was never a time, though, when he touched anybody inappropriately. So that's where the story gets a little, different. And he says that he is going to fully cooperate with the investigation that is going on, because the DA has opened up a case against this, or investigating this. And he said, yes, he will cooperate, but as of now, he will not be resigning. Okay, because people are calling for him to resign, and it's just so weird that all this would happen. That it all comes out now, because another problem that Cuomo is having, and actually this one is a serious one, is the nursing home deaths that he covered up. So it's gotten a little bit deeper, and now we realize that, because I told you guys last week that he said the reason why he didn't turn in the numbers as they were was because he was afraid that the Trump administration was going to use it, politically, and try to undermine him and, turn his the constituents behind against him. So that was his reasoning for not releasing those numbers correctly. But now they're saying that he actually was changing the numbers, or having his aides, his staff aides, change the numbers months and months before it ever got to the point where it was going to be hot and heavy in the politics train, talking about these nursing home deaths. He knew, and his staff knew, that the deaths went up, they said 50%. So half of the people that went back to the nursing homes, half of them died. And they changed those numbers. They didn't report them correctly. And now it's coming out. And that is definitely not good for him. It just looks like a cover-up. It looks like a cover-up. And I don't know how there's really any way they can get around this. It seems like they waited until now for all this to come out. It still feels like it's kind of the same situation as with what happened with Andrew Gilliam. Is that his last name? Gilliam? Down there in Florida. It's like they knew the other side knew the weaknesses, or knew the problems that these people had in their back, in their past, or just knew what was happening, but held on to it, didn't let it come out just yet. They gave them all this rope to hang themselves, and then they put it out there. So why do I feel like that's not his name? Is it just Gillum? Andrew Gillum? Maybe it's just Gillum. But in a different way with Andrew Cuomo, though. But they probably knew that he was kind of one of these touchy-feely kind of types, and but they probably also knew about those nursing home deaths, and just kind of held on to that information. And now it's all coming out, and it's all looking bad for him. And it's just like, you can't really call it a smear campaign because this is what you did, but it still feels like there's some people behind it that's pushing it so that, he can get this bad name about himself too. So yeah, it ain't good for old Cuomo. But he said he's not resigning as of now. We'll see how much hotter the heat gets when they start delving into more and more. I have a feeling more women are going to come out and say some things, and it's just going to get uglier and uglier for him. I asked you guys last week, or I said last week, that I had been meaning to watch his brother on CNN, and somebody told me that he's been banned from talking about his brother. Okay, and I was like, that's probably I'm sure he's glad that that's what the case is now, because how uncomfortable would that be for him to have to be talking about these things where it's pretty clear, at least with the nursing home deaths, that your brother, he didn't handle that correctly. So, anyway, you guys, we'll see. But you think he's gonna resign, you guys? I don't know. I kind of have a feeling like the pressure is really fixing to mount. All right, you guys, let's talk about the stimulus relief bill. Okay, so you guys know it's damn near $2 trillion, $1.9 trillion. The Republicans is all the way against it. Okay, the Republican politicians in the Capitol are all the way against it. It is very popular amongst the Democrats and the Republican people, the ones that are suffering out here who needs the money. They all would like to see this bill go through. Okay, but like it's been in the past, the Republicans, I'm just making it seem like the Republicans are just so horrible today, but they're the ones that don't want this bill to go through. Chuck Schumer said that he don't give a damn what's what this weekend. They are going to pass this bill. It's going to happen. And once they get that shit passed, you guys, you will get your $1,400 check, because I know that that's what most people are just waiting on. That is if you make $75,000 or less last year, or I think the year before last, actually. I think they count your 2019 taxes. They also are going to extend that unemployment $400 a month till the end of August, I believe. They are extending the evictions, I believe, until October. The end of October, you're not going to be able to evict anybody. And they're starting up with the PPP loans for small businesses. Now I hear that sole proprietors, so people that just don't have a staff but still have a business, they are now able to apply for those business loans. So if you have a business, that might be something you want to look into. So yeah, the relief bill will definitely help a lot of people, but Republican says it's way too expensive. It's way too much money that they are spending, unnecessarily so, and so they're not with it. Okay, now it is going to the Senate today. Actually, they're arguing about it all day today. Last night, I think the senator of Wisconsin got up there and said that he feels that the clerks should read the bill from front to back, cover to cover, the whole thing. I think they said it's somewhere near 700 pages, 600 and something pages. And, you know, to waste time as a stalling tactic, they had clerks get up there in 30-minute intervals and read the entire relief bill. Okay, and of course people don't feel like sitting there for that, and you know, so you annoy the politicians that have to sit there and deal with that, and it creates arguments and it creates all this. It sounds like a filibuster. When you guys was trying to explain it to me, that sounds like what a filibuster is, but when I was reading up, I never saw the word filibuster, so I guess it ain't really a filibuster. But yeah, so that went on last night. Okay, today they say that they're going to be arguing about this probably way past midnight, because, like I said, the Republicans don't want it to happen, but the Democrats are going to make it happen. The Republicans, all of them, are expected to vote no, and all of the Democrats are expected to vote yes, and of course, Vice President Harris will be the tiebreaker. She's going to push it on through, and you know, next week, there should be some movement on all of this. But it just feels like they playing with people's lives, because in the meantime, man, it is real. People are really, really struggling. The government is needed. People need the help. So it's not, you know, I know some people do take advantage of the system, and that's just a given. That's what happens. But for the most part, the majority of the people actually, truly, really do need this help. So hopefully it's gonna happen. But yeah, they gonna, Chuck Schumer said, we getting this shit done this week. So this is, you know, by Sunday, I'm assuming they're gonna try to have this done and move on to the next step of getting the help out there to the people. All right, you guys, so yesterday there was supposed to be a second attack, they said, on the Capitol. They said that the chatter on the web, I guess on the dark web, is getting to be louder and louder about how they were going to attack the Capitol yesterday, and generally just around this time, that the plan was to attack the Capitol. They, you know, said that they're going to bomb the place. It did not happen yesterday, so this is yet another deadline that the alternative right have used to threaten the Capitol, but you know, as of now, they still haven't done anything. That doesn't mean that they won't do anything. It's just that they haven't done anything. But they say it's enough chatter out there for people to be very concerned. So they've the National Guard was scheduled to be leaving Washington D.C. They had still been up there, but now they have put in for 5,000 of them to stay until mid-May. Just so they can get past the State of the Union, and they can just kind of get everybody settled into Washington, D.C., and then the National Guard can go. They're also trying to hire more Capitol Police officers. So they've also requested that. Like I said, nothing has happened so far, but it's better to be prepared than to, you know, have a repeat of what happened last time. So I don't know how to feel about these threats that are out there. You know, you're not sure if they are somebody that's really serious, you know, if it's a really serious threat, or if it's just a lot of talk. People that are part of QAnon and all of that, there is actually a lot of talk and, you know, not much do, but they don't want to underestimate these people. And so they're just trying to make sure that they keep everybody safe. But, you know, with the State of the Union coming up, I just still feel like that it ain't over yet. You know, I just feel like they're just waiting on the opportunity to really catch people off guard, and then, you know, something might happen. So are you guys, anybody out there, National Guard, you know, my rock star women and men, any of you guys, what they saying about what's happening in Washington, D.C.? Can you guys share? If you can, let us know. But yeah, it's bad. And I guess this is going to be our way of life for a little while. You know, it's just, you know, even though the block is not as hot as it was back in November and December and January, it's still hot enough that, you know, we need to be careful. So y'all just be careful from the extremists out there. Y'all watch your back. And then lastly, you guys, let's do this Rona check-in real quick. I'm going to give you guys some numbers. So right now, the cases since the whole thing started just about a year ago is at 28.8 million people have had it. Yesterday on March 4th, 67,415 people had it. So it has gone down from the last time that I told you guys that. We have had a total of 520,760 deaths. And on yesterday, we had 1,949 deaths. So that's leveling out. It's not going down anymore. Okay, it's starting to level out like this. And we have 44,172 people hospitalized, which also goes down. You start to feel a little bit hopeful. You start to see that these numbers are going down. You start to see that people are being able to get vaccinated more. I think they said that right now, an average of 2 million people are vaccinated a day, and that's well above the goal of the Biden administration, you know, for his first 100 days. So they're ahead on all of that. As the numbers are going down, now they're not going down like this, okay? They're kind of going like this, and that is not a good sign. As Dr. Fauci has said, you want the curve to be downwards before you really start opening up and, you know, prematurely. And that's exactly what is happening. So we have Mississippi, we have Texas, and we have one more place, Florida. They have all lifted their mask mandates, okay? They have made it so the businesses can be at 100% capacity for restaurants, you know, for bars, for whatever. They have completely done away with the mask mandate, and now they're just allowing everybody to go out and about their regular life with, you know, with the option to possibly put a mask on if they feel like it. But I don't understand why you would lift a mask mandate like right now. See, this is the problem with what happens in the United States. The minute that they feel like things are going down a little bit, everybody's like, okay, that's it, it's over. Okay, partay, let's go out, let's be in the restaurants, let's be on top of each other, let's be at the gyms, and the whole thing is, let's get it all the way down, especially because these variants, you guys, the variants is the problem. All right, they're highly contagious, and the British one, the UK variant, is the one that they're mostly worried about. But it's all these other little strains and weird variants around. You know, I told you guys about the South Africa one, the Brazilian one. There's even ones that are cropping up in states, their own separate one. California has one, New York has one. I think I heard something about Louisiana or something. So now they've got all these strains, and, you know, shit is mutating and mixing up and all of that. And then you've got people that are prematurely opening their state back up. Okay, right when, if you would just hold off a little while longer. Listen, I know that everybody is tired. Nobody can be more tired than I am. I'm so ready for life to get back to the way it was. And, you know, now when you talk to people, everybody's like, I got my first shot. I got my first shot. I got my second shot. You know, people are definitely getting vaccinated, and that's why the numbers are going down. But these variants is also challenging the numbers, you know. So when I read that they lifted those mask mandates, and, you know, they were like, when is going to be the best time? Well, I know when it ain't the best time, and that's now. It just seems like every time we take a couple of steps forward, it's just a whole bunch of steps backwards. And it just feels like coronavirus ain't never gonna be done. Y'all, never. And I just want to get back to regular. It is good, though, that they are decided to vaccinate these teachers, because they're about to put the kids back in school, and hallelujah for that. I know there's many parents out there whose children have really suffered and struggled in the last couple of school years because virtual learning is just not for them. Okay. I was just talking to a friend earlier today, and she was telling me how her son is just not thriving, and he's in middle school, and she is just like, I don't really know what's going to happen. He might have to repeat his grade level because, you know, he's just so behind. And I think that's happened to a lot of kids, you know, and that's unfortunate. I don't know what's going to happen when it's time for these kids to be taking these placement exams and all of this. Like, it's been a mess. So it's time for these kids to get back in school. I think the kids are anxious to get back in school. I'm sure the teachers are tired of virtual learning, but I'm sure the teachers would also like to be alive to do in-person training, in-person learning. So they need the vaccination. That is their protection. They need to be on the front of that line. Like, I just feel like, especially since now they're saying that pretty much all adults will be able to get a shot by the time we get to, I think they said the end of May, and maybe even sooner than that with Moderna, with Pfizer, with Johnson & Johnson, which is looking better and better to some people. Some people don't want to have to deal with getting 2 shots. Johnson & Johnson's numbers are high enough that people are willing to just get whatever comes first. And that's what they're telling you. Just make sure you just take whatever comes first your way. Don't get into the particulars that you just want a Pfizer shot and you wait and wait and wait. Okay. So, yeah, y'all, that's what's happening with that. But the vaccinations are being ramped up. 53,986,011 people have already been vaccinated, fully vaccinated. We feel like we on the cusp of something big. Either it's going to be good or it's going to be bad. I have made the decision. I'm just going to go see my dad. My dad was able to get his shots. He's already fully vaccinated, and that's good enough for me. Okay. I would have been heartbroken if I know I would have made the man sick. So I'm definitely going there in the next few weeks so that I can see my dad. So, it's starting to feel like light at the end of the tunnel, but then you got these people, Mississippi and Texas and Florida. What the fuck is wrong with y'all? What is wrong with y'all? Y'all making life really, really difficult. I hope people are still smart enough to still wear their mask out there, And I know y'all gonna be like, well, you in Georgia and they ain't wearing their mask. I keep telling y'all, we are wearing our masks in Georgia. When you see things on social media, that is not regular real life. Okay, people wear their masks. As a matter of fact, I walked in the grocery store the other day and I had forgot my mask. It still is not a habit of mine to put my mask on automatically. I don't know how long you got to do shit before it becomes a habit, but it ain't became one for me. So I walked in the grocery store, honey, face just as clear. And people was looking at me like, where's your mask? And I was like, oh shit. Had to go all, and I know that story is like the same for a lot of people. Got to go back in and get your mask from the car and walk all the way back and all of that. So we wearing our mask here, even though it is crazy that we having, All-Star Weekend this weekend. I already know that's going to be a mess. Oh, before I go, you guys, I was supposed to say happy birthday to somebody. Listen, y'all quit asking me to do these happy birthday shout outs. This is the last one. Cause I was going to forget, and then I was going to feel bad and all of this. So let me read this. They're from Zambia, and they are studying, the sister, she's studying at Oxford University. I don't even know what her sister's name is, but her Instagram name is Onana Sanana. Onana Sanana. Onana Sanana, I think is what her. Onana Sanana. So maybe her name is Sanana. Or maybe it's Sana. She didn't tell me what her sister's name is, but I'm sure you know who you are out there. Happy birthday to you. Your birthday is actually on the 6th, okay? But I do want to send you a happy birthday shout out. I hope you have a fantastic day. You are at Oxford University, so I hope you do well in your studies, and even with this COVID shit that it hasn't thrown you off, okay? So yeah, enjoy yourself. Rocky love y'all. Okay, just shout out to all of the what's going on right now. We Aries, Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces, Aries, Taurus. We about to be on Taurus. So yeah, that's it. I think right now we still in Aries, but we gonna be in Taurus soon. No. We just getting the Aries, right? Yeah, we just got in Aries, and then so this is Aries, and that's right because the kids' birthdays is coming up. All right, you guys, I done rambled long enough. Let me get off of here. I'm so happy that I didn't have to do none of that work today. I don't know what to do with myself, but yeah, y'all, let me Let me get on. All right, you guys, so make sure that you rate, comment, and subscribe to the channel. It's Rox. The channel is It's Rox, and everything else I do will be in the bottom bar. All right. So I hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day, and I plan on doing the same. Till next time, rock stars. Bye.